Well, welcome everybody. Another Social Saturday chat, and we are officially live. This is our wonderful networking week. So this week, I want each and one of you to be out of your comfort zone and get involved. Come up and say hi. Come and introduce yourself. Share a fun fact, and tell us who you're looking at connecting with. But I want everybody to be proactive, like you've never been this week. I want to see how many people can come up, tell us who they need to connect with, whether you're looking for a new job or you're just launching your business or you need help with something to take you to that next level. And for everybody to be extremely intentional about their comments and seeing who they can introduce people to, because you just never know where a conversation may lead. So I welcome you to another Social Saturday chat. And I look forward to seeing where this conversation goes. If you're not already, make sure that if you see the little link at the bottom that says Social Saturday Chat, our company page, click on that. Make sure that you are following. We will be sharing clips, extracts from these chats over the coming weeks as well. So Felipe, you're going to have a lot of Felipe's 5 coming up and lots more. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and my wonderful co-hosts, Felipe Cofino, who has been here right since the beginning, even though it was just an invitation to come and join me. I never let go, so he hasn't been able to get out.
You never let go, or you never got rid of me? We don't know which one it was.
Well, it was like you didn't have a get out of free jail free card. So, and then the wonderful Joel, who's also been here since almost the very beginning, and Martha, who joined us out of the audience, and she put her head above the parapet and kind of just came to say hi and was never let go either. So welcome to our conversation. I am going to start with ladies first. Martha, introduce yourself. Fun fact, who are you looking at connecting with? And I know you've invited a lot of people to come and attend today. So if you're in the audience, drop it in the comments. Tell us where you're joining us from.
Thank you. Yes. Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. Yes, we'll be posting the link later today or in a couple minutes here to join us on stage. For friends that don't know me, my name is Martha Lobo-Samaya. I'm the founder of Connect Impact Hub, where we're on a mission to end homelessness. I would love to connect with anyone that's in that area of nonprofit, volunteering. We got advocacy for the unhoused community. Please connect, even for the low-income families. So social workers, case managers, CW, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name right now, but anyone that's in that area, please connect with me. And a fun fact, I got to meet Omar last week. I think it was Sunday. Yes, Sunday we met, and it was amazing. We did a podcast, and it was hot. It was fun, and just connect with your network. I mean, and I know many of you have connected already in person, but, I'd love to hear from you all as well. Okay, I'll pass it over back to you, Mac.
Awesome stuff. And if you haven't already, go and check out that little brief and impromptu LinkedIn Live with Omar and Omar when he met Martha live. And you could just see it looked like they'd known each other for years in person as well. It was just like, hey, two friends getting together. And it's amazing when people meet in the wild, as they say, in real life. So please, if you've met anybody in our social, so I can't even speak today, Social Saturday chat, Share some pictures in the comment, or let us know, or tag them and tell them to come and join the conversation. Felipe.
Sorry, did Joel already go?
Oh, sorry. Joel did ask, and he's sitting there thinking, Mac, what an absolute, never mind. I'm not even going to use those words. So Joel wants to introduce himself because he has a little monster in the background who, if he doesn't get fed at the exact time every week, all hell breaks loose, and we don't want that. So, Joel, over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Mac. And I will not finish that sentence that you started on live. I'll do that privately. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Joel, and I run a company called Rockstar X, which specializes in helping people of all aspects communicate and bridge the gap between the neurotypicals and neurodiverse individuals. And I've also started up my podcast as well. Again, fighting for the right parties.
It's not just me.
Season 4 now, and if you want to come on to that talks about experiences with neurodiverse, or if you're neurodiverse yourself. I'm looking forward to connecting with each and every one of you.
Awesome stuff, Joel. Thank you for passing the baton there. Felipe, over to you, my friend.
Well, hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday today. For those of you I have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofino. I'm been an HR exec for 25 plus years. I have been a passionate LinkedIn enthusiast for 18 years and do shows with this amazing crew here. But I also do one on Sundays with Melissa Houston called Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. And I also do Workplace Wellness Hour, which was this upcoming Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And of course, I am always excited to see all these wonderful people doing all the amazing work. And the networking is really what got us into it. I am also a children's book author, best-selling children's book author, I should say, of Miranda and Max. I gotta show it. It's available on Amazon. But my fun fact for today is that the continuation of Miranda and Max is complete, which is Brady and Lucky, the One-Eyed Cat. And there's some good new characters in there that are being introduced. And you'll get to see things like Lucky sucking a tree, and Bud and Brady talking to Randy, a rabbit that was in the first book. So I get to use my creative talents along with my analytical talents when I'm analyzing data. I'd be remiss if I didn't share a second fun fact is I posted a video yesterday about how we always talk about downloading our LinkedIn data and downloading it and trying to use it to maximize our connections, our clients, our outreach. My dog literally touched my iPad and ChatGPT opened up. I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I use AI to help me sort through all this data? The reports I got out of there were phenomenal. I specifically asked, give me a list of all CEOs I'm connected with and their contact information. I got everyone's email. Don't know how. I feel like every time I go into the CEOs, the email's not there, but it was really just a great tool. So fun fact is, carefully use AI, careful what data you put into the AI, or protect it so it doesn't learn from you, because there might be some information in that people don't want shared, obviously. Emails, I figured if it's public on LinkedIn, then it's public everywhere, in my opinion, honestly. But that is my fun fact. And who I'm looking to connect with is other people who are passionate about helping others, especially about learning or improving the workplace. Other HR colleagues, I'm always passionate about talking about HR with them, and recruiters. I'm very passionate about recruiting and helping people find jobs for the right place, in the right community, with the right culture. And I'm also a wonderful dog lover, a copper, and a parent. I can't forget those things, of course, because these books are about my children. So back to you, Mac.
Awesome stuff. Well, I'm just multitasking over here because I'm just about to share the link in the chat with our regular Social Saturday chat group. So for those of you who are in that chat, if you're not in the chat, speak to anyone who's pretty much commented already. They should be in there. Speak to one of our co-hosts up here, or speak to the wonderful Meryl Cass, who just shares everything in there as well. And join us on stage. Do you see I can't multitask? I have to type and talk at the same time. But that link is out there now. So come and join us up on stage. Let us know who you are looking at connecting with. And let's see where today's conversation goes. Have we got Bill? Hold on. Bill has joined us up on the stage as one of our first guests. Bill, do you want to introduce yourself and let people know who you are, a fun fact, and who you're looking at connecting with?
Wow, you guys do it great. You just appear on stage. I expected to be backstage. I am William Rochelle. You can call me Bill. I am, dang it, I should have listened to Felipe's thing again. I am a builder of teams, builder of people, builder of operations. I am a father of two, grandfather of one. I love my dog, Bruno. I want to thank Felipe for helping me last Sunday, and for Martha from being my North Star for the last 10 days. She has moved mountains for me. I am currently looking for employment. It's been a fun ride, to say the least. But I have a new trajectory, and I have a new passion, and I have a new pep in my step, thanks to Martha.
Incredible stuff. And Bill, tell us who are the type of people we can introduce you to when it comes to that next perfect role for you?
Absolutely. So I'm normally side by side with the founders of any company. I'm the person that operates the entire process while the founders are out there trying to raise money. I am the back end of the entire company, which includes my passion is customer service. I just love it. Because I think that that's the part that really drives the business, understanding what your customers need, logistics, supply chain, as well as, and at some points HR is reported to me, but that's not really my passion. But I've done it. I also am a paid partnership with ADP, so I can help people with their payroll processing, their PEO if they need one, and I'm going to stop there.
Wow. Okay. 3 top industries you would love to get into if you had the top choices. Where would you go and why?
So I've always been a part of emerging growth. So top industries would be any direct-to-consumer industry right now, e-commerce, and my third choice. Let me think about that. I should have thought about that before I came on.
Hey, this is live. You never know what's going to happen. So do us a favor. If you've just heard any of the requests that Bill has shared and put out into the universe, and you know somebody in that industry or somebody who might be industry adjacent and they could introduce them, go into the comments, either say, hey Bill, let's connect, and you can chat in the DMs, or go and tag those people in the comments, and who knows, maybe they can come over here and come and connect, and let's make a difference in people's lives today.
Did he share a fun fact?
Can I share a fun fact?
Yes. Did you share a fun fact? Bill, you got to share a fun fact. That's part of the networking.
Oh, a fun. Ooh.
It can be anything. You saved an ant and carried it outside instead of stepping on it. I mean, it really can be anything.
I've traveled to almost every country in the world.
Oh, wow. Every continent? Have you made it to every continent?
Yeah. Part of my job was I created the entire travel and events department for JDate and Christian Mingle. So I was over that entire operation. So I opened up a business in Israel. And then we went from online to offline. And that's something I just decided to do. One day I went to the founders and I said, hey, we could make an extra $12 billion a year. People are wanting to go offline. So I did all of the parties and events across the United States and then traveled to Japan and Thailand. And I mean, I don't want to go over every country, but the brand was so solid that people would plan their vacations around our destination trips. And singles were actually meeting, fell in love, had children. And my department was featured in Forbes magazine for being the key differentiator for the company because of what we did.
Well, you should write a book about all the places you traveled to, because it sounds like you've had a lot of experiences that, some of them that I didn't even know you had until now. So thanks
Can
for
I share
sharing,
this
Bill.
with you? Can I share this with you real quick?
Sure.
People enjoy your time because I don't really remember all the trips because I was so busy on the trips planning the next one. So be present in the moment.
Do me a favor. Go back to your pictures of those trips and any kind of work material of images and just start taking notes. You'd be surprised at how much of it might come back to you, how much you actually realize you did see that you didn't remember. Just an idea. Just an idea. But back to you, Mac.
Well, that is one serious fun fact. I'll tell you what. One of the things I'd love to see is how many pictures did you take on your trips with the people that you met? Now, just go and do this exercise. Pick 3 to 5 people that you have met and do a post and give them a shout out and just reconnect. And who knows who in those networks needs you to do something maybe on the similar scale again. And go and have some fun, because you just never know where these things, reignite flames from some of the stuff that you've done in the past.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Before Bill goes, before he goes, he didn't say his name, so our friends can find him on LinkedIn. His name is William Rochelle. He is commenting here in the comments, and we'll post one of his comments here if anybody wants to connect. Please connect. Thank you so much, Bill, for joining us today. It's just lovely to hear your voice, as always. Hearts, hearts, hearts.
and you know what? With everyone, I love having a full stage. I'm going to hand it back to you, Mac, in a second. But everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. Do me a favor. We talked about taking pictures. Just a fun little exercise. How many pictures do you currently have on your phone right now? Put it in the chat. I'm going to save mine because mine's embarrassing. And so that's all I'm going to say, but I will put it in there. But go ahead and put it in the chat because I'm just curious to see the range. And there's no right or wrong. There's no judgment, because too many, like some people, it's embarrassing. So, all right, back to you, Mac.
Well, I'm just going to let you know that my iCloud limit has told me that I've reached my limit and need to upgrade. And just to let you know, I'm already on a 2 terabyte photograph camera plan. I'm not going to say anymore.
All right. Well, you're not need to put numbers in. Go ahead.
I've got 5,000.
Oh, that's respectful. That's. I think that's a very normal amount of pictures to have on your phone. I really do. That's like you hear that, you're like, all right, that makes sense. Martha, you want to share?
I've been deleting a lot, and what I'm using Instagram and Facebook, which is like my family, my close friends. I use that as like my journal. So I take the picture and then I delete it because storage is always an issue for me. So I have right now almost 35,000.
Okay.
3,500. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more. I think that's why more people, I think, have more and more nowadays, especially the younger generation. All right, Mac, how many do you have? You're on mute, by the way.
I dropped it in the comments.
126,547. We have a new winner.
It's embarrassing, but yeah, it's I take photos my kind of ethos is that if there hasn't been a photo, then the day wasn't been worth living. Like there's always memories to be made. And yeah, I'm kind of the guy that when people go to functions, they come to me afterwards and they go, "Can you send me the video?" Because I'll create like a compilation of all the pictures and the people, and just creating and keeping track of memories.
Well, I feel better about mine now. Mine was 58,799. So I feel I mean look. I knew that you and I were going to be a lot, but I need to upgrade to 2 terabytes. I only have 1. All right, let's get back to our guests who have been waiting.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to hand it to you, Felipe, to roll for the next few minutes. I'm going to be back in a second.
All right. Well, everyone, as we mentioned earlier, don't forget the link to join us on stage is in the chat. So feel free to join us. And if you haven't followed us on LinkedIn homepage, go to our homepage and hit follow, and then hit that little bell in the top right-hand corner so you get notified of all the events that we're doing. With that being said, let's go to, I'm not sure who came up first, but I'm going to go to Coach Carey, because if it was Gregory would probably default to Coach Carey anyway, to go first, as he's a gentleman. So Coach Carey, please unmic and tell us, what are you doing on this wonderful Saturday? A fun fact about yourself, and who are you looking to connect with? And of course, introduce yourself. Over to you.
Hey everybody, I am Coach Carey. Can you all hear me? All right, I got a thumbs up from Martha. That is amazing. First and foremost, I want to send prayers to William Rochelle, positive vibes, praying that the universe sends him everything that he is looking for. And just a brief introduction of myself. I am Coach Carey. I'm a licensed financial coach looking to connect with superintendents who want to move away from a one-size-fits-all plan for their staff to an individualized plan for every employee. A fun fact about me is that last night I was invited to a jazz and grilled cheese session on LinkedIn. And so I sang a little bit of Summertime. That was actually fun. That was my second time at that type of event, but it was really fun and exciting to do something different on LinkedIn. Everything is usually so formal. And so that was nice to just kind of sit and chat with different people on LinkedIn, share some good music. And some people actually had grilled cheese sandwiches. We talked about the types of cheeses that we liked. We talked about the different types of music. And it was absolutely a great time.
Well, Coach Carey, I had to listen to you on YouTube because, again, I don't know what's up with my mic, but like last week, I couldn't hear certain people. But yeah, I listened to you. I was on that show with you last night, listening to you on stage, and you definitely you sang Summertime very well. I gotta say, first of all, and yeah, there was a question that was asked of all of us, which I thought was random. It was like, "What's your favorite kind of grilled cheese?" I'm like, the one with cheese. I'm like, what? I mean, and I thought about it. I'm like, all right, there's people use different types of cheese. I mentioned bacon on a grilled cheese. I found very delicious. But I also mentioned that my daughter's wedding has one of the appetizers being passed around is a espresso cup of really great tomato soup with a little, like, almost like a finger sandwich of a grilled cheese sandwich. So imagine if you had a grilled cheese and sliced it into finger sandwiches. They are handing out that on top of the espresso cup as a little appetizer passed around. So it was a very fun conversation, but we learned a lot about jazz, and some people knew more than others, but it was great to hear you as well. Martha, any comments before, and then please, Martha, why don't you introduce Gregory after you make any comments about Coach Carey?
Yeah, Coach Carey, I'm glad you brought that up, because we are on a business platform, but just to be able to go on live and have these wonderful events where we can network, connect through our voice. I mean, how wonderful is that? So thank you for sharing. And it's always great to see you, Coach Carey. I'm going to pass it over to Gregory. Welcome.
Hello on a 50-degree Fahrenheit Winnipeg, Manitoba morning type of a day. I am a 6-year HR professional, which has a trend-setting, neurodiverse type of leadership and thought branding type of policy type of style in regards to my HR feelings and backgrounds and point of view. In regards to that nature, I am a person who is very, very sports oriented, and I will give a little plug that the first person that you had on as your guest, as well as yours truly, will be doing a UBU type of show tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, in regards to the wrap up, which I'm now calling the 4A month, which is autism awareness, acceptance, and action, basically, because we have the statistical data in regards to people being on the spectrum and other neurodiversity situation, that it is a more of an advantage rather than a disadvantage, and we need to basically attitude adjustment in regards to the stigma. To last weekend in regards to what was WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada, and as well as that this is, I will say, hopefully that everyone had a thoughtful NFL draft type of weekend. I'm surprised that Felipe has not broken out the Washington Commanders gear around him on this call, but
I'm just gonna say Sonny Styles. I'm very happy with Sonny Styles. Is all I'm gonna say.
All I have to say is, long live the star. How about them Cowboys?
You know, I can kick you off the stage, Gregory. So be careful with the star. I know. Be careful with the star.
I know. But hey, you gave a little ode to your draft. Your people.
Yeah. It's our show. It's our show. So that's why I'm saying, do not rub the star in our face. That's all I ask.
All I have to say is, I'm happy that you landed Mr. Downs and the rush end from Laura Sherman's alma mater from University of Central Florida, Lawrence and stuff. So at the 23rd selection. So I'm kind of liking our draft at this present time. So yeah. So.
Well, Gregory, I know Martha's typing, it looks like, but thank you for sharing that. I love that you bring all that enthusiasm. Yes, it is a very crazy weekend, and the draft is actually coming to DC next year. So we're very excited about that.
You're gonna break that. You're gonna break that record that Pittsburgh is aiming for. They only needed 150,000 people in attendance to break the 3-day record, and you think that Washington could break it on the first day. All depends on how they configure the stage in regards to the intersectionality to the Washington Monument Mall, which the draft is going to be held, which we all know that can hold 1 million people in a.
Yeah, you know what? As a resident of the DC area, I'm kind of hoping that they don't break the record. I'd be quite okay if they didn't break the record, because it's gotten too big, in my opinion. So, but listen, we have other people on stage, so it is a great weekend, and excited for you and for Bill and your show. So looking forward to that. And with that, we have our next guest, who is Melanie. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Did Mac or Martha want to share any comments on Gregory's share before we move on?
Oh, thank you so much, Gregory, for joining us.
Can you all hear Martha? I can't. Shoot.
Could you post the event for Sunday in the comments, Gregory? Thank you.
All right. I heard you say thank you. All right. So Mel, thanks for being on stage. It's great to see you here. Please tell us, what are you doing on this Saturday? A fun fact about yourself, who you're looking to connect with, and of course, introduce yourself to those who don't know you.
I am delighted to join you. After LinkedIn glitched, I was heading to YouTube, and here we are on StreamYard. I am a girl from the Bronx, New York. Where New York turns left, that's my pushpin. That's our exit on the highway. I am certified in trust, and I'm a hybrid event conversion strategist. All that means is Mac will laugh. I only have 1,100 photos on my phone because, as Martha said, I delete them often in between events. And some of the photos are PDFs from presentations I attend. So they're my bookmark before I put information into the Google Drive or S3. As Felipe says, not so well known fact, I am a data girl who is an introvert. And the fun fact of today is the Mets lost again today, yet last night. So I have on my Mets Blancho, which is a Mets poncho with the Mets logo on the front of it, but I am wearing it as a blanket today. So that's my fun fact for today.
Well, hold on. The Mets broke their 7-game losing streak, didn't they? They won a game the other day.
They won 2, but last night we went back
they
to
broke
the
the
we went,
streak.
I'm a you gotta believe girl. And yes, William, saying the Bronx is a sign of the milestone birthday I celebrated last year, as opposed to the Bronx. It's the Bronx.
Well, I love that you share that, Melanie, and I think that your passion for the Bronx and for the Mets is always admirable because it shows how loyal you are. I respect any Mets fan, even though I would always say I was a closet Yankees fan. Sorry. Anyways, so.
But my dad was a Brooklyn Dodgers boy, so I was born in the Bronx and only went to Yankee Stadium when the CYO day camp used to take us in the bus on the bleachers. And pinstripes, I was in the garment industry. Pinstripes are for suits, not for girls from the Bronx.
Well, I love that you mentioned that because I think that just goes back to your roots, and I love that you mentioned the Dodgers, and a lot of people don't even know that Dodgers used to be in New York. But I will say this: I think that one of the great things about baseball is it brings family together, and loyalty to your town is a wonderful thing. For example, I have a hard time with people in my town, in the Washington D.C. area, who are Dallas fans. And they grew up here. I'm like, wait, if you grew up in Dallas and came here, I respect you being a Dallas fan, but you grew up here. Why are you a Dallas fan? It doesn't make sense. They're our rivals. So with that, Mel, I respect how loyal you are. So,
but with transparency, today's a basketball day, preseason, New York Liberty. I live with a retired first responder. We are New York Liberty girls, but good friends. We are UConn. So I think it depends on the sport. And I think it depends. I live with a retired first responder who should have been a broadcaster.
But UConn is in the vicinity of New York. Texas and DC are not anywhere near each other. So I'll give vicinity. Like there were a lot of Washington fans in North Carolina before North Carolina had a team. But as much as we enjoy talking about sports, I'm sure there are people that are like, can you please stop talking about sports? So I'm going to hand it over to Martha to share her thoughts about anything else that you'd shared, Mel, besides the sports. Over to you, Martha.
Yeah, did Mel share who she wants to connect with? Or did I miss that? Oh, Mel, I'm going to pass it back over to you.
I went into the sports lane. So as a woman who's certified in trust, I am planning in the fall to hold my first hybrid event in 8 years. I'm celebrating advanced trust facilitator certification. We'll be celebrating a book. We'll be bringing together and finally meeting some of my small team members. And as I'm now using Mac's app, boy, that's a whole nother delightful conversation. And I also am looking to meet people who are interested in attending my Cultivate Trust in a Fragile AI World series. I am not an AI trainer. I had a fear of AI, just like I had to get into the lane of getting comfortable with self-trust, self-care, self-empathy, and self-love. And in Cultivate Trust in a Fragile AI World, we have a musical theme on Mondays for 6 months. I'll have guest speakers popping in. We are going to dive into the fear of AI stuff that holds us back from making and cultivating, creating collaborations and connections so we can cultivate trust. I am allergic to build trust. The focus and the focal point for the webinar will be so that others can learn to establish trust. They can learn how to attract others who are trust willing, who are trustworthy, and kind of create conversations and a modern workforce in less steps. I'm actually going to reach out to Felipe because I want him to join me for part of the series. And that's who I want to meet. Anyone who's stuck in their trust journey, you don't have a trust lens, you're not sure you can trust people on AI, you're not sure the profile is real. And thank you for a chance to join you today.
Thank you so much, Mel, for bringing that up too, because that is a really hot topic, trust, especially with the technology that's evolving here in the States. I just learned recently that Saudi Arabia is ranking #1 with AI, and we are only at 28% of Americans that are actually using it. We're ranking 34. So yeah, there's a lot coming up with that, and so it's like perfect timing for you to even speak about this. Mel, I know you've been sharing this on your lives. If you're not connected with Mel, I recommend that you connect. Mel, can you share your last name, because it's not showing up here on
It's
name.
Melanie Richards. So look
Okay.
up from Melanie. She spells out full name Melanie, and it's Richards.
Connect with her, and she's also on YouTube. I always catch the replays. Thank you so much, Mel. So great to see you.
Martha, question for you. Where's Canada on that list? Do you know?
I don't. I only spotted the first, and then to see where we were at. I don't know.
Okay. By
That's
the way,
a good question, though.
by the way, looking to connect with like-minded HR progressive HR thinkers, most professional preference north of the border, but I will accept people from south of the border and internationally. So yeah.
Thank you, Gregory. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to our next speaker, Zarar. Welcome, brother. Great to see you.
Thank you, Marshall. Thank you, Felipe. And it's always an honor to be with you guys. At least I can, because I'm mostly doing that most boring stuff here. So where I have to repeat myself again and again every day. So thank you guys for like holding these events where we can actually come up and yeah.
I think, is Zarar frozen, or is it just me that sees that? Oh man. Okay, Zarar. We'll maybe you need to exit and then come back in if you hear us. Oh, there you are, Zarar. We missed you.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe the connection problem. Am I loud and clear now?
We can hear you now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I would circle back with Mel where she was telling about AI, and I had that, nowadays to have an extra incomes. So I joined a team where they are making us learn how to work with these AI tools, the way we are creating different images and videos, and it's a digital marketing firm, which they have hired us 3 people as internees, and we are nowadays, having an extra income is just not like something. So yeah, in the meantime, thank you. You guys, you are holding these events, so where I can actually come up and tell you about my journey and how I am growing through network marketing, because it's something I have to do every day. Times it gets boring, but the longer I do it, the more I get, more information on it. And it's just like that. What I'm learning is that if I am going to repeat again and again and tell people more about my products, what I'm selling, and before that, I have to build those relationships and trust with people. Like you guys, like Marsha, you use soap every day because it's something everybody has to use soap. Mac, you already have that in your washroom and bathroom and everywhere, right? Soap. So to build that trust with people, that why not just trying Zarar's soap, which is made of aloe vera and avocado oil. So building that trust with people across borders is something I'm mastering that skill and building that relationship with people yeah. And thank you so much, guys, because you're holding these events so people can actually see me, and they can reach out to me here on the LinkedIn, and they can talk to me, and I can tell them about the health benefits of some of my rare products which I have, and how it has changed lives of millions of people across the world. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Zarar. I know I've gotten some of your information through private message. If anyone wants to connect, Zarar, please leave a comment, because your last name's not listed here on the live, so people can locate you on LinkedIn.
Zarar Ijaz.
All right, friends. With that, I'm going to pass the mic back over to Mac. And if anyone else wants to join us, we still have a couple more minutes here. Mac, do you want to share a little bit about the app that Mel was just mentioned earlier? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah. So I did share, and I wrote an article about some of the challenges and why I created this app, because one of the things that I found frustrating, LinkedIn, everybody's on a different journey. So you've got people that are kind of new to LinkedIn, trying to figure it out, and they need kind of daily guidelines and daily checks to be able to ensure that they get the best results, out of LinkedIn. And it's like anything else. You don't know what you don't know. And I've spent thousands of hours doing research on what works and what doesn't work. And I see so many common mistakes that people make on LinkedIn. So I thought, you know what? I want to put something together where people can have a day-to-day checklist of the things they should be doing as opposed to the things they think they should be doing. Because a lot of us get lost in our feeds, and our feeds are filled with a lot of junk. There's a lot of promoted ads and sponsored ads and second and third level connections that are not relevant to us. And I wanted to be able to save people time. But then the other thing is, there are people like Felipe and lots of other of my connections that have got like 30,000 plus followers, and they've maxed out at their 30,000 connections. But the reality is, everybody's always looking for new connections, new opportunities, but they very often forget about their existing network. So what the app allows you to do is actually import your existing connections as well as your messages. It doesn't actually import the content of the messages, so you don't have to worry about your private conversations, but it just imports the message count for each one of those people you've spoken to. And what it will do is give you a very a clear picture on who you connected to and how many conversations you've had. And it was quite frightening, because I imported my 20-odd thousand connections and found out I had well over 3,000 connections I'd never even sent one message to. And people are always like, oh, I'm worried about how many connections I have. And especially when you start getting to the 25,000 plus connection level, then people start becoming a little bit more thoughtful about who they connect with and a bit more intentional. But the reality is, they probably have a bank of at least 10% of their connections. Some people up to 50% of connections, we're seeing those kind of numbers, that they've never spoken to. So what's the point of having these connections if you're never going to have a conversation, never build a relationship, you don't follow them, you don't engage with their it's literally just somebody's name on a list somewhere in the background. So what this does is gives you the opportunity to either retarget, restart conversations, or just remove those connections. but it does it in picture format because I'm quite visual. So I want to kind of see graphs and pie charts and, very simple. And I want to be able to see where my opportunities are, who the people that I speak to on a regular basis. So if you want to find out more, you're going to have to DM me because the link isn't available out there anymore. And we did cut off the number of beta testers. But if you're serious about it, you have to be consistent and use the app at least once a day. Otherwise, we won't consider you as a beta tester because we want feedback. We want to be able to make it better for the user experience. So if it is something you want to know, just comment Mac app, and I will reach out to you and get you a copy of the app, and then you can jump on a call with me and I can take you through how to really use it for the best outcomes.
Well, I can't wait to try it out because for me, I just mentioned how I try to use AI to help sort all the data from the download. This here is so much more specific, and it's what I need because I go through each month and I try to find those non-active connections that I've never talked to, see if they're even active. When I find them, they're like, 34 connections, no content, no messages, no activity. I disconnect. But your app narrows that down and makes it so much easier. So I can't wait to officially become that beta tester because I promised you I wanted to be one. So I still want to, and I want to give that dedication. But it sounds like a brilliant thing. And he's right. All that information, all those connections, you don't know who you're connected to. Sometimes you forget, or you don't realize, oh my God, I am connected to them. So it's one of those things where LinkedIn has given us a door to be able to connect with people out there. Max app makes it easy to do. So I can't wait. And we got a bunch of people on stage. Hey, before we do that, I just want to remind people.
Over to you. If you can do the intros.
Oh, okay. Well,
balls in your court, Felipe.
Thanks,
Felipe,
well,
I'm about to
before we
leave.
do that,
Felipe, I'm
want to
about to
remind
leave
people, if you're
you.
not following Social Saturday Chat, do so on our page and hit that little bell so you get reminded of all the events we do, not just this event, but all the events you co-host do. And if you want to check out some of our past episodes, go to your favorite podcast and do a search. You can see some of the amazing people we've interviewed, the great topics we've tackled, and the amazing network events we've had. So with that being said, let's go to our next guest who is it Layla? I can't see her name underneath the screen. Oh no, Kai, I'm sorry. Kai, how are you, Kai? Welcome up on stage. Great to see you up here. Please tell us what you're doing on this wonderful Saturday, a fun fact about yourself, who you're looking to connect with, and of course, introduce yourself. Over to you.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Tuning in from New Jersey, and it's a little rainy outside. Thank you for inviting me, Martha. First time on stage, but a few times listener, and I love the show. I love the energy. What's up, Kenneth? Kenneth, I love Kenneth. Every person he connects with, he's like, I love the savor of your presence. So I just want to acknowledge, we all love the presence of you on this show, Kenneth. You've been such a trooper. So thank you. And thank you for all the hosts here and my long-term friend, Martha and Teddy. How is everybody doing this morning? Well, obviously, I don't know how the show went, so I think I'm doing it all wrong, but great to see you, Joel. I have a question for all of you. You know how one thing happens at 9 a.m., a meeting, a comment, a moment, and it's still living rent-free in your head at 7 p.m. when you're still sitting at dinner with people you love most? You're physically there, but you're mentally still stuck in that moment. But most of us never say that moment out loud. We feel like we're going to be judged, especially in professional setting, and we're afraid we're going to bother people at home or in our community, not even to the people that are closest to us, but somewhere along the way, we were taught that struggling means weakness. The real leaders don't crack. The strong people just handle it. Men don't talk about this, that you just keep going. And we smile, we perform, we just push through, we carry it alone. And that silence, that is my mission. I am here to break that. And so I'm Kai. I'm a neuroscientist and a mental fitness coach. I help people rewire what's happening at the very root thought level because we all know what's running in your head is running in your life, in the boardroom, at the dinner table, and everywhere in between. So I would love to connect with all of you in the leadership, in the boardroom, and in everyday conversations, because we all know the real leaders are not the one with the actual titles. They are the people that are actually leading everyday conversations and happening in our own backyard. So thank you for having me on this Saturday.
Thank you, Dr. Kai, for joining us. For friends, I've gotten to know Dr. Kai for a while, and she also just recently launched a book. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you so much, Martha, for bringing that up. Yeah, my book, Think to Lead, it is going to be launching next Wednesday, April 29th, Wednesday, 7 p.m. So I will love all of us, if you can have the time to join, because it's written for every single one of us. Even though my name is on the book, I always tell Martha, it is our book, because it's for everyone, the executive holding it together, right? In back-to-back meetings, especially in corporate setting, the parent who is just running on empties, the person who just looks fine, feeling fine, but not actually feeling fine in a long term. And we don't talk about this enough. And so I want to bring this entire community on. This is not just a book. My mission is to reduce those mental health stigma in corporate setting in our own backyard, one person at a time. So I would love to see you there.
Thank you so much. And if you could, thank you. Yes, thank you. And if you could share the link too for us to sign up, that would be wonderful in the comments. Thank you for coming and for sharing.
Yeah, Kai, you did amazing. That was an amazing job you did there. That was, and I gotta say, what you're trying to do is so admirable. So definitely share the links in the comments. You asked that question about being vulnerable and it being a sign of weakness, and that's old school. And I think that it's something that a lot of people are realizing now, that it's a different world now. It took my nieces and my daughter to encourage me to share about me suffering with anxiety when I was the VP of HR at a bank. I'm like, no, that's going to be me looking weak. And like, no, that's good. Them seeing that you were successful despite having these challenges. And that gives them hope to be able to do the same thing. And when they said that, that just clicked and made me realize, like, we got to stop hiding behind this, because one, men, especially Latino men, we were never good about speaking about our emotions. You're like, oh, you'll be fine. Go out for a walk. go do some housework. Go cut the grass. But as far as the general benefits of it, it helps not only the individual, but it helps those people that are leading see them as a human being, and that builds trust, and that's invaluable. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Felipe.
And that builds trust, and that's invaluable.
And I have to say, when Teddy heard your voice, Dr. Kai, he was all over the place. He just stopped. So he says his hello.
Love you, Teddy.
I'll welcome our next speaker. We have Joe. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Somehow I got motivation. God help me now. Felipe, you're screwed. For the Latino men, I'm here in Florida, as I mentioned in chat, right here in Tampa. I've been down here 30 years. But the business that actually I've been into has been for actually, probably it has been 30 years. But this business name you see on my name, under my name, is actually since last year. We got 9 months now. It has transitioned. I brought a partner in, and I do the work I actually do of IT, business development, business branding, marketing. I did mention earlier, which was seen in chat, about AI. I leverage the daylight of it. I think it's become an addiction for me. I don't know if it's a crutch or if it's like a curse or a combination of both. But the work I do is actually both in Spanish and English, but predominantly in English, and it's done here in the States. They'll be down here, but originally, no pun intended, but I'm actually from Ohio, Cincinnati of all places. And being down here for so long, I have seen so many different changes. I've lived in Mexico City for a handful of years. That's where I relearned my Spanish. And because of that, this new business direction that I'm not accustomed to, but I'm adapting to, has given me more of a voice. I think the pandemic definitely has created an inversion for me to be more introverted and extroverted. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on with my brain, my personality, even socializing outside? When I heard the cooking conversation earlier, I was losing it. I was like, all right, what other dishes does anybody else have? Because I can do the Cuban style. I can do probably even other Oriental styles. Indian, I have not tried yet because I don't have all those ingredients, but you follow my point. But it's cool, though, actually, how we do all connect here. I've been using LinkedIn since 2003 to give you a realization over 20 years. It has evolved. AI is getting absolutely accelerated at an alarming rate. Though I've been noticing Grok has got issues. Poor Musk. I don't think he's going to have much investment left. But it does crack me up, though, the evolution of what we're going through, which is basically another word for changes. And I am seeing a lot more entrepreneurship beefing up a great deal. I've been out of work actually since 2024 in November. They kicked me out. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll do it my own way. Because I'm sick and tired of trying to collect a damn paycheck, even though the security was nice. But I'm just a number. That's all it is. We're all numbers. So I heard the other guy speaking about losing his job. Take a number, get in line. Because entrepreneurship and building businesses plus just collaboration is what it's all about. And I think we may dominate the entire system eventually with all the tools and resources we have available. And I agree with the mental health and so forth because it makes a lot of sense. We got to take care of ourselves too. Thanks.
Well, Joe, I gotta say, I love that you shared all that. And out of curiosity, where's your family from originally?
Father's side, Havana. Mom's side, got my way. I have to think. God, man, it's messed up my head.
Both parents and two brothers born in Havana, so we should talk. But
oh, dude, I already reached out to you.
Yeah, we could just tell some stories. But I also love all the work that you're doing, especially recognizing of how nowadays having one skill, one job for entire life, that's old school, and we've got so many other skills in us. It doesn't mean that we have to be everything for everybody, but we can do more than one thing and tap into that. And the reality is, financially, we kind of have to also a lot of times. But I love that you're doing that. You're doing in English and Spanish for the community. I think that's awesome. With the AI addiction, just take care of your mental health because that's a real thing. But I love your passion, and I think it's awesome that you came up here and shared that. And did you share? I mean, I feel like you shared a fun fact, but did you share a specific fun fact?
Well, fun facts for me is mostly about how I actually make people laugh because I actually do have a major sense of humor, at least I've been told, and my energy, as well as my mentality and attitude. It's kind of like the I want to keep this clean unless we don't care in this place. Maybe I use the acronym IDGF. That's it.
All right.
Yeah. You can put an A in the middle there somewhere.
No. I like that's a good acronym. And on LinkedIn, you gotta be careful. It's not.
Yeah. No, it's because plus this is a professional forum, so that's why I might keep it as clean as possible. But yeah, it is more of like I find life to be humorous because it is a joke, and in the professionalism direction itself, it is also about being focused, but knowing it's about also not only us, it's them, you matter. What is your struggle? What's your problem? I have fun in that area because when I discover things and people insult themselves profusely, which I've experienced so much, I'm like, I haven't even said a word. And yet you're beating yourself to death. I use even some rocky directions. Like you're in the boxing ring on your own, beating yourself to a pulp. How about we take off the gloves and lay down things and actually speak about this? That way you can let yourself lighten up on you.
You know, I use with people that I'm close with, I say this to, not just anybody, obviously. I wouldn't say it to you directly, but when people are beating themselves up and talking negative, I say, like, if my wife was doing it, I'm like, hey, stop talking about my friend Michelle like that. I don't like you talking bad about her. Please stop doing that. And it's kind of like, it jolts them out of like, I don't know how to respond to that. I want to get mad at you, but you're defending me. And like, so it kind of wakes them up and realize you're just the only person being negative is you towards yourself. And so we need that wake up call sometimes. So I love what you shared. Martha, Mac, anything you want to share? Because I know we are past the hour already. But any comments on Joe's share?
I like being the last one.
It's so great to meet you, Joe. I'm going to be following your content. I'm looking forward to getting to know you more.
Absolutely. And connect with me whenever you guys want.
Awesome stuff. Well, I can't believe we haven't had you. Well, I haven't seen you up here before, Joe, and I'll be looking at connecting. And clearly there are going to be some long conversations between you and Felipe with all the very similar backgrounds in the background there as well. But thank you so much for coming up and sharing and, with the cooking side of things. I'll be interested to see what you bring to the party, because it sounds like you're up for almost game for anything. So
I love to write, by the way. Also, I'm a great writer.
Okay. I'm sorry. Two keywords. You're saying writing and cooking, Mac. I gotta bring up something that before we end the show. Yeah, I'd be remiss if I'd not. If you all have not checked out this cookbook by Transformation Kitchen, Chasen Forehand was the person that led this. Check it out. It goes to the nonprofit Central. Oh my God, I almost called him the other one. Transformation Kitchen. You know what? When I talk about him, I say he's like the future Jose Andres. That's how highly I think of Chasen Forehand.
Wow.
He is that impactful with the work he's doing in this world, not just in the U.S. And so he has put out this cookbook with a number of people that put out recipes. I did not contribute to the cookbook, but I promised that I would do a video of me cooking one of the recipes because I've been known on YouTube to do that with my past workplaces. And there's one with me, long hair, long story. But I will be cooking the chicken and chorizo paella from this cookbook. So keep an eye out for that. All right, now back to you, Mac.
We're the bald, beautiful men, aren't we? Bald, beautiful men.
There we go. They do say that God only made a few perfect heads and the rest he covered in hair.
Thank you guys for this opportunity. I broke the ice of myself because I got to take initiative, and I did. Thank you for letting me come in.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Incredible.
They're doing sign language. The applause.
And welcome.
Should I go ahead and bounce out? We're wrapping up, or
we are going to be wrapping up now. We're going to have our co-host just do a little bit about what's coming up in their weeks and share that. Joe, anything that you want to share, links and Kai as well, how people can follow you?
I will put that back in the main chat cell from LinkedIn, and that way people can know how to reach me and where to reach me, because it was colliding with me. Yeah.
Good stuff. Excellent stuff.
We look for an IT guy, man. Come on, 25 years, still is last. Thank you, Merrill. Oh boy, where do I start?
Well, I'm going to leave that for the comments because I tell you what, they're still rolling in. So good to see so many of you in the comments that I haven't even had a chance to get back to, but we are well over the time. I'm going to go to Martha quickly, then Felipe, and then I will wrap up with my fun fact and also who I'm looking at connecting with. So over to Martha.
Yes. Well, I want to thank all of our friends that joined us today. I've seen a couple of the University of Phoenix alumni that were in the comments. Thank you for joining us. And if you watched, thank you. Hopefully you'll get the courage to come on stage next time. Please do come. We would love to meet you. I'd love to introduce you to all my friends here. I don't have anything coming up next week. I've been working on my doctorate degree. I'm going on week 4. And I'm learning so much right now about the healthcare system. It's estimated by 2030, we are going to have over 76 million people, baby boomers, that will be the age 65 and above, which is very alarming for the healthcare system, for the housing system, for every system possible. And so I'm learning a lot. I will be sharing some, I'm looking at starting articles. And I'm going to need some help with that setup because I just can't seem to figure out how to set that up. So if anybody wants to volunteer a little bit of time, please let me know, because I'd like to start incorporating my research into my articles. I think it's important to keep you all informed as I'm researching all this great information. And then I'm also incorporating that into the nonprofit. So how about that? I don't have anything else coming up next week. Fun fact, Teddy is not neutered. So next week he's scheduled to be neutered. Yes, that's not a fun fact, but it's a big deal for Teddy. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you all updated.
Your definition of fun and my definition of fun are very different, Martha, because that is not a fun fact. Ironically, I don't share this very often, but I growing up, we were big fans of spade and neutering. Population, especially back then, dogs ran around the neighborhood. When I adopted Copper, he was already 6 months old, and he had not been neutered. He wasn't hyper. He wasn't aggressive. There was nothing else wrong with him. So I never neutered him. I checked with the vet. I hear myths that it can be cancer. It's like, no. But as he gets older, you want to keep an eye and make sure there's no complications ever. And so he is actually not a neutered dog. So if anyone who's going to send me any hate DMs, I'm a puppy lover, and I'm sorry. After 6 months old, I just looked at him like, I have a hard time doing that to you. Every other dog I ever had was neutered, I swear. But anyways, back on topic.
So he gets a lot of funny looks when you take him for walks then, Felipe.
Wait, I can't hear you. Hold on. Say it again.
I was saying that all the dogs give him funny looks when he goes for a walk.
Say it again.
I was saying that all the dogs give him funny looks when he goes for a walk.
Oh, all right. I don't know why my speaker's being so delayed on this, y'all. But real quick, just so I can we can wrap up and get out of this craziness. Things I have coming up. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. By the way, another common thread we have is that my wife is from Ohio, and both my daughter and wife went to Ohio State University. So we got a lot to talk about. Anyways, as far as what I have coming up on this Monday, I have the Workplace Wellness Hour, where we will be introducing and interviewing Patty Miller, who is a executive HR professional who's out there doing a lot of coaching on leadership. And we're going to dive deep into some important things that she's going to share. That's all I'm going to say. So check it out, 8 p.m. on Monday. And then I will be back here next Saturday with this amazing crew for another Social Saturday chat. And then the Sunday after that, I will have Careers, Chaos, and Coaching with none other than Melissa Houston for another great day on Sunday at 11 a.m. And a little teaser, I will have my third Future Ready Voices, and that interview is going to be with the Global Director of HR for Hyatt Hotels. More to come about that one. So she used to be the she used to be the Director of DEI for Hyatt Hotels and has moved up over the years and taken on roles. And so it's going to be a very interesting conversation. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Joel.
Hello. Yes, I'm. This week, I'm more or less planning my social Saturday chat, planning my Fighting for the Right to Party podcast, and I'm going to try also at one episode. I'm going to be speaking to the bald-headed man next to me. About his career in film, throughout his early life. So that should be an interesting one. And apart from that, I'm back here next week at the same time, same place. And from me and Bailey, see you next week.
Amazing stuff.
Of LinkedIn, as we like to call him, because Mac does look like the Sean Connery of LinkedIn.
Well, yes. Okay. So a couple of things for those of you who don't know me and I have been watching because I've been seeing so many new faces, which is exciting. I effectively help people use both their offline presence and their online presence as a combination. and currently focusing on helping consultants avoid the feast and famine situation that most of them face throughout the year, that are not actively using LinkedIn to their benefit. So if you know consultants out there that work with big organizations, they're great at what they do, but they're just not present on LinkedIn or using it properly, please, those are the people I'm looking at connecting with. Fun fact is, some of you may know my obsession with tropical fish, but I started, and koi has been one of the other things, but I unintentionally went into a pet store in the US in Long Island, had a horrific experience, and saw really bad treatment of their pets and animals. And it kind of got me really frustrated. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and do just reviews of some of these stores in my spare time, and go and check out what kind of level of service and level of attention to detail there is. And I ended up meeting randomly the owner of this koi farm, which is now the biggest distributor of Japanese koi in the US, in Long Island. And it was a bit of a weird situation because I drove into their huge venue, parked, and this massive guy just parked next to me, got out and went, "How you doing?" And I was like, what the heck? Turns out that he was actually the owner of this whole venue, and started off like me with a little pond in the background. And yeah, 10 years later, he has one of the biggest he's one of the biggest importers with over 15,000 koi. And for those of you who don't know anything about fish, it is one of the most bizarre investments that you can have, because these fish go for anything between $5 a fish to $1.2 million a fish. And I was like, what the actual, anyway. So if you go and look up Tank Life with Mac, you will see the interview that I did with this man. And I've now been invited to start doing these interviews by other koi venues around the country where they've gone, "Hey, can you come and do that for us?" So I get to go and see all these really cool koi facilities and places.
Go.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing, though. I mean, because your passion, and I love the story, but also the fact that I've walked into some scary pet stores, and I'm not talking about they're old buildings. No, I'm okay if it's an old building, as long as they're taking care of the animals. And
yep.
You can be that big brand name ones out there. They're all bright lights and shining, but it doesn't mean they're taking the best care of the animals necessarily either. So that's really a fascinating thing there. So are you doing it in the UK with them, or are you doing it in the US, or both? Or
I started while I was in the US. I did the interview the day before we left. And so that interview went live on YouTube last week, or in the last few days. And then I'm actually doing several around the UK starting next weekend.
Most people heard about it and reached out. Okay, that's awesome. Brilliant. Well done.
So, fascinating. But the artwork, when you look at how beautiful these fish and animals and just tranquil, sitting next to a koi pond with these incredible colors just flowing past you. But anyway, I can digress. So that's my fun fact. And that's it. Next week, for those of you who are still watching, is Human-Centered Selling, Conversations That Convert Without Pressure. Now that, my co-hosts are going to fall off their chairs now. That event has been posted and is up, and I'll continue to edit it, but it's ready to go and hit attend now. I thought I'd surprise you guys, but it's up and ready, and it's just gone live on the event page, and I'll update all the details as we.
Happy birthday, Martha! Wow.
Woohoo! Thank you, Matt.
Listen, everybody, go and have a fantastic week. I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Adios, everyone.
Bye, everyone.